The town of Jarablus is under Free Syrian Army control. A military victory over ISIL made possible by a coordinated Turkish-American military operation.
A large number of ISIL fighters withdrew toward the south, toward Ahelbarra, which is still under their control. Now Jarablus could be considered fully liberated.
Earlier in the day, Turkish tanks crossed the border into Syria to help the Free Syrian Army fighters who are being backed by the Turkish government to take over Jarablus. The town on the border with Turkey was controlled by ISIL fighters for the past 2 years. The push to capture Jarablus was in response to a suicide bomb attack that killed 54 people in Gaziantep on Saturday.
At 4 a.m. this morning, our army and security forces started operations in the north of Syria against terror groups which constantly threaten our security, like ISIL and the YPG.
Now it remains to be seen whether the Free Syrian Army can hold ground. The group has been undermined by conservative factions such as the Army of Conquest, which controls Idlib and parts of Aleppo province. ISIL fighters are believed to have withdrawn to Al-Bab, the last remaining town under ISIL control in northern Syria. But ISIL isn't the only reason for the increased Turkish involvement in Syria. Kurdish fighters from the YPG are also in action. They have recently consolidated their gains in Hasaka and taken over the city of Manbij. Jarablus is their next destination. The Turkish government accuses the YPG of being an extension of the PKK. Turkey has waged war against the separatist group for more than 20 years. The YPG has been a key ally of the US in the fight against ISIL in Syria. The Turkish leadership wants the US to sever ties with the Kurdish faction. The YPG isn't the only sticking point between Turkey and the US. Vice President Joe Biden is in Ankara as the Turkish government presses the US for the extradition of Fethullah Gulen. The leader of the Gulen movement, who lives in exile in the US, denies Turkish accusations of planning last month's failed coup. The US government says it's waiting for concrete evidence before making a decision. The US and Turkey are key players in the Syrian conflict. Both have maintained close cooperation since the start of the civil war. Cooperation that may be undermined if the two allies fail to resolve their differences. Hashem, Ahelbarra, Jazeera, Gaziantep.